Okay, so it's now 4 days later. There's our experimental cup and there's our control cup. The experimental cup has the little bit of microbes in the form of some of the vermicompost mixed in. The control cup just had the bait. All right, let me empty them out and we'll see what we got. So normally when I empty bait cups, I grab worms that are in the area. I saw worms hanging out of the experimental cup, those with the microbes. I did not, no, that's just a piece of cardboard. All right, let's start with the control group. See what happened there. So it came out in a clump. There are worms in the bottom. So I'll keep all of this material in this little container here. Are there worms in here? Well, obviously if they're in the bottom of the cup, there are some worms in here. I can still see visible cardboard. All right, let's go take a look at our cup containing the microbes. All right, here we are. Again, like I said, there were worms on the outside. Let's empty it out. Same amount. Remember, it was the same mass of material that went in there. The bottom of the cup is harder to visualize because the vermicompost has made it black. All right, so this material is noticeably more moist, which is to be expected. I would say there are a lot more worms in this material. If I wanted to count them, I think this one would win. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the material back and clean out these containers and put the experimental one back together and the control one back together. All right, I've replaced our two containers in their original spot. I rinsed out their two trays that I used to examine the contents, and I put the rinse water in each of the containers. And because this is going to be the only check-in on this bin this week, I am just going to give the bedding a mist down, because I don't think I will fluff and whatnot the container. I think I'll just give it a good misting to make sure that there is no impediment to this system having happy, healthy worms. There's more than enough food in those two bait cups for, let's guess that the worm population has doubled or more, but there's more than enough in there. By the way, when I was putting the material back, there was no doubt that I saw visible carrot peels in the control, and I did not see visible carrot peels in the experimental. So that's another difference between these two cups. So just top down, the one on this side is our microbe rich, and the one on this side is just plain bedding and food scraps. Both of them contain the same amount of food, the same amount of bedding, and the same amount of powdered eggshells. This one also contained a little tiny bit of the vermicompost to get the material inoculated. All right, everyone, we'll check back in a few days. Just when I was putting this experiment away, I saw a worm traveling across the surface and heading straight for the container with the microbe-infused bedding and food. It was really interesting. I don't know whether you can see him disappearing into one of the holes. There goes his tail right there. There he goes. So the worm is voting for which one he prefers.